guys, this is Claudia here from the Bookkeeping Experts. I hope that everybody's getting ready for the tax season right now, and hopefully, most of you are ready to file 2021. If you're not, don't stress out. There is a lot of tools. You can look at my channel for a lot of tools to fix some of the common problems. If the problems you have are beyond your understanding and you need help, please contact us and we can help you make sense of all the mess. We do have one-on-one virtual meetings that you can hire us for, or you can hire us as bookkeeper or cleanup, and then you can keep on going whatever you prefer. Just call us today. The best thing you can do is just to be proactive. As a business owner, there's a lot of hats you have to wear. You gotta be a salesperson, you gotta be a mathematician, you gotta be you gotta be a bookkeeper, you gotta be an accountant, you gotta be pretty much everything, right? Wrong. Focus on what you do best and allow other people to do those things that you can use some help. This way, you'll be able to grow your business a lot faster. That's the best way to grow your business, to focus on what you do best. Now, a few things that I wanted to talk to you about today is continue on Square transaction and automation. Automation is very helpful, especially if you run a business with a lot of transactions, daily transactions. If you want to run an efficient business, you want to make sure that all your transactions are coming through QuickBooks Online, through the bank feed, or through the app feed, and then you'll be able to match them. Square has had a lot of updates recently. Sometimes we do find a few bumps on the road. However, if we can make it work, that's usually the very best. With the recent updates, you see that with Square transactions, you always see a deposit and something that says spent or a payment. So as we talked to you last time, what it means is that if you set up your Square transaction to run transactions through Square Bank, you're going to see a deposit that goes into Square Bank and a payment, which is actually a transfer from the Square into your checking account. Now, you see that the values are different. And the difference between the deposit or the received amount and the spent amount is the Square fees. Now, there's more to it, especially if you own a restaurant and if you use apps such as Grub Hub or, oh, well, there's so many. I can only think of a Grub Hub, but Uber Eats, and so on and so forth, right? So there's lots of apps out there. Now, one thing to keep in mind, when you have additional apps in Square, it will run as a lump sum, but those companies will pay you separately. So how does that work? It doesn't. So those transactions that are coming from a third-party app from Square, such as Uber Eats, Grub Hub, and so on and so forth, needs to be removed from Square, and you need to find the transactions where Grubhub or Uber Eats are paying you and add the fees right in the bank feed. I'm going to give you a few ideas on how it works, and here we go. All right, as you saw last week, so you see the two transactions here. You would add those and then match it in banking. However, like I said, for restaurants, it's not always like that. So if you have a third, now keep in mind to determine which transactions you should remove or exclude, you need to take a look at the description. So if it says card transactions, it means that this is just a regular Square transaction. Now, there's other transactions that's going to call multiple transactions or cash transaction. If it is cash transaction, you're paying with cash. That's fine. But if it is a third party transaction, it is on the description, it is described differently. So for those transactions, you'd select them and exclude them. Okay. And then once you go into banking, you'd find the transaction. Let's say this one, and there's no match for this transaction because if there is a discrepancy on the amount and you exempt that, and let's suppose that this is Grub Hub paying you paying you for your weekly, or I believe it's some of them are bi-weekly, some of them are weekly, depending on which company you're using. So this is what you're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna split this transaction. Okay, and the first part, let's say I'm just gonna put Grub Hub customer, and let's suppose that the sales that I receive, oh, I need to add, I don't have Grub Hub. Okay, he's a customer, save it. Okay, let's suppose the sales is gonna be more. If you, the first thing you gotta do is open up your sales summary or your money distribution from whatever app you're looking at. So Grubhub, or Uber Eat, or so on, so forth. Um, and then you're gonna put the sales. The sales gonna be more than the net payment because the net payment doesn't have the fees or any other extra expense that those companies will charge you. Let's suppose that the gross receipt for Grubhub is $800, right? But what I have is $674.15. So how am I going to? Okay, I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, so we're gonna put Grubhub. So I put sales. I put the total sales just like it's supposed to be, right? And then I'm gonna put the expense, which is I can put under bank fees, or maybe some of you want to know exactly where it's going to. So you know, uh, Uber Eats or Grubhub, you wanna analyze if it is really worth for the company. You know, after you pay all the fees, if it is really something you want to continue doing, and maybe yes or maybe no, but you need to know. Okay, so you see a red here of $125.85. So that should be the fees for Grubhub, right? Now, this is an expense, and I selected the expense for the second line. And I'm going to enter a negative amount so that I can take away from my deposit. So $125.85. When I put the negative amount here, I zero out the difference and I automatically record the expense. So I can go ahead and apply and accept. Okay. And that would be it. I'm not going to accept this one. Okay, apply and accept. All right, so that's it. That's how you would record those transactions. Now, keep in mind, you will have to, like I said, you would have to go to the app transactions and you need to exclude those transactions. So you would select whatever transaction and exclude them. And once again, the reason why we are excluding them is because if you have multiple third-party apps, if you have only one, that should be fine, right? But keep in mind that the transaction that they're sending through Square doesn't have the fees for the third party app like Grubhub or whatever company you're using. So it doesn't have the fees. So when you send them into QuickBooks, it's going to send it directly to your bank account. So you'd actually have to go a different route. You'd have to, no, sorry for that. Okay, you'd have to go into the transaction itself, right? And let's suppose I don't see the match here. I'm going to find a match, and I'm going to find this invoice, or it's not an invoice. Remember, we should never be matching to the invoice, but let's suppose that this is a deposit, but this is not matching. So the way I would do it, I would select the transaction, and please consider that this is not an exact amount, right? And I'm going to select the deposit, and it's going to give me the opportunity to make changes, to add or subtract from that deposit. Okay, so that's how you would do that. Now, this is not exactly what we're looking for, but kind of to give you an idea. So, a little recap of what we were talking about. So, when you use Square, you have a restaurant, and you have third party apps. So when Square and you enter those transactions into Square, very important. I would recommend not to enter, but I have some clients that need to enter that because that's how they receive their order. Okay, if that's the case, that's how you would proceed. So you have to exclude those transactions, find them in banking, and add whatever difference. So you're going to record the sales, and the minus will be the fees. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful to you, restaurant owners, and it makes sense. If you need further help, please contact us. There is a number down below. That's our email. You want to have a 101, you can go ahead and hire for a 101 or for cleaning up your books or doing some catch up. Whatever you choose, contact us today so that we can get this done before the deadline. But I hope this was useful, and thank you so much for watching this video. We have heard so many good things about people who are watching our videos, um, and it makes us so excited to hear that we're helping you guys. That's our main goal. I want to see everybody make sense of their finance and to be able to grow their business and take it to the next level. So please write down below your notes. If you like it, go ahead and click on the like button. And if you want to keep receiving those updates, subscribe to our channel. We're going to continue bringing material like that on a constant basis. And until next time, keep on smiling.